Hey everybody, Shabbat Shalom. We are going into, at sundown, the month of Iyar. And during that month, basically what's happening is that the Father has moved us on His timeline from a time of deliverance into a time of separation, and we're heading towards a time of revelation. Iyar, the month, is the second month, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit more in the next video. I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 kind of smaller videos. But let me just say this. All of this is found in Leviticus 23. I'm not going to go to the scriptures during this video, but I just want to point that out. First of all, Passover was the beginning, was last month, and it is all about deliverance. Deliverance from slavery, and that slavery is physically and spiritually. Passover or deliverance took place on April 8th. Now think about this, deliverance. What has been going on during that time in your life, during this year? You know, most of us have been delivered from the demanding work schedule that we've been in, or at least we've slowed down just because of availability. We can't go to the stores, we can't do the things that we have been doing. And so the beginning of all of this is deliverance. And I just want to kind of encourage you to think about what deliverance has taken place in your life during the last month, from April 8th till now. What deliverance has taken place in your life? What things have been removed that has kind of lightened your load or been a blessing to you, that had held you bound or, slowed down? I know for me, time with my wife. I love my wife, and just the treadmill of life, getting delivered from that has been such a blessing. Honestly, during this time of deliverance, my stress is just gone. Other than the stress I put on myself, to get things done or whatever. But honestly, there's been a deliverance of stress off of me. So anyway, that's the first thing on God's timeline, is deliverance. And then right now, we're in a time of counting the Omer. Counting the Omer is a time of separation. This time is the time that the children of Israel journeyed from Egypt, where Passover took place, to Sinai, where Shavuot or Pentecost took place. And that was where the Torah or the instructions were given. The Lord commanded us to count the Omer from Passover to Shavuot as a way of showing anticipation for the receiving of the Torah or instructions that would come on Mount Sinai. So during this time, let me ask you this: as you've been through a time of deliverance, your pace, your life, everything, you've come out of deliverance. Now you're in a time of separation. And if you're not, I don't know how you're not. There are a few people still working, but for the most part, everyone has been separated. And this is a physical picture of the spiritual timeline that God has us on. And so during this time of separation, what is God working out in you? What is He doing in you during this time of separation? For me, my focus has changed from being all over the place to being pinpointed on the Father and what He wants me to do and what He's calling me to do in my life and through my life, in my ministry, and the things that He's calling me to bring out and to put forth in ministry. During this time, I've been working on another book, and I'll talk about that a little bit in the future, not today. But, the Lord's just been taking this time of separation to pinpoint my focus. Now think about this. Counting the Omer is a picture of transformation. And that's the time that we're in right now during Iyar, the month that we're getting ready to go into at sundown tonight, or probably by the time you see this video, it is sundown. And so Iyar is a month that we're counting the Omer, and it's a picture of transformation, because the first day after Passover, we were to bring an offering of first fruits, and that first fruits was barley. Now, in biblical times, barley was considered animal food. In some countries, corn is considered animal food. But back then, barley was considered animal food, and it was the first fruits offering. But then later on, during Shavuot, when Shavuot comes, then that is Pentecost. And Pentecost, the offering was a wheat offering, and it was made into 2 loaves of bread. Think about that. Barley, which was animal food. Now we have 50 days later an offering being made of wheat that was made into 2 loaves of bread, human food. The time of transformation of counting the Omer, or the time of separation of counting the Omer, brings transformation. Starting as little more than animals or slaves, we are being transformed into humans that could receive instruction, Torah, the bread of life. And so think about this. During this time of, you've gone through some deliverance, your time schedule has been delivered. Even if you're still working, you can't go and do the things that you used to do. So time schedules, you've been delivered. Now you've been separated and transformation is coming. So what transformation is the Father working in you? You know, this is the 16th counting of the Omer at sundown today, Friday night. It is the 34th day. You know, we have 34 days to go. It's only the 16th day of the Omer. So even now, yet I'm recognizing changes that are taking place in my life because of the transformation that is coming from separation. Now, think about this. The transformation that comes from separation is taking us somewhere. Think about this. The instruction or the Torah or the bread is the revelation. And what is the next step? Well, the next step of revelation is bringing that result of transformation. It's bringing that forth. So think about this. What new understanding or revelation has resulted because of the transformation in your life? The revelation that's come to me is I've had to completely rethink church. I've had to completely rethink what is ministry and what is ministering to people. I've had to completely rethink. There's some revelation that's come in that. You know, for me, honestly, there's some new revelation on even how to run some of the video stuff that I've been running. You know, there's new revelation that comes because of the transformation that separation brought. And so, you know, I had to rethink all of these different things and rethink, you know, even relationships and rethink, you know, what is important to me and all these different things. You know, for me, you know, a lot of people cannot even go to the gym right now. And, you know, that was one thing that I spent a lot of time doing. You know, I enjoyed going to the gym. But because of that separation, can't go to the gym anymore, transformations come where I've spent time doing something different. You know, for me, I've been running, but there's something so cool that's happened for us is that as I've been running, my wife has been riding her bicycle along with me, and we've been able to get some time together. So that separation has caused transformation into something different, but revelation has come now that I am able to spend more time with my wife. I'm understanding her more, or I'm trying to understand her more. You know, she's understanding me more, or maybe even she's working on it. But just think about how that works. That is the time of Iyar. The month of Iyar is taking the deliverance into separation, bringing about transformation that causes revelation. So let me just talk about these 4 things that happened during the month of Iyar. Okay, we have been delivered, but we still are in the slave mentality. Now think about that. You know, deliverance has come. You know, I have worked with so many people that have been addicted to meth and addicted to different drugs and alcohol and different things, you know. And deliverance comes, but sometimes they still are in the mentality of being a slave to that thing. And it takes some time. You know, that's Passover. We've been delivered. But the counting of the Omer is a separation. You know, when somebody gets delivered from that stuff, they don't do that anymore. They're separated from that lifestyle again. But that lifestyle being separated from it is kind of like the 50 days of counting the Omer. It's a time that is meant to bring about transformation. And as that transformation through the separation is at work, that transformation begins to position that person to a new revelation. A new revelation of who they are, a new revelation of how God works, a new revelation of what that deliverance brought. Think about that. When we walk through a time of deliverance, that deliverance is for a reason. It's bringing us to something so that we can use it to bring about a new cycle of deliverance for somebody else. And so as you think about that, I really pray that this small video will kind of set that in on you. Let me just go through this one more time. You think about this. Most of us right now are in a time of being delivered from our demanding schedules. That separation from people has resulted because of that. The separation brought us into a time of transformation. How many of you guys are reading more? How many of you guys are praying more? How many of you guys are spending time with your children, your wife, only one, please, wife. And how many, I've been able to spend some awesome time with my grandchildren. It's been amazing. If you get a chance, look at that video I made, with my grandkids. It was amazing. I just loved that. But that separation has brought about a transformation in me where I've slowed down long enough to enjoy some things. And because of that transformation, it has prepared me to receive a new revelation. I just pray for you that you would receive a new revelation during this time, that the Father would pour out new and exciting aspects of who He is and what He's doing in your life, that it would truly be a blessing to you and to your family, to those that you touch with your life. I have more to come on the month of Iyar. I'll release that video tomorrow. But I want you to remember this for right now. The month of Iyar has a focus, and that focus is alignment. And that alignment is this: change your priorities so that you can change your perspective. Let me say that again. The focus of Iyar is this: change your priorities so that you can change your perspective. Let me just pray for you. Father God, I thank you for those that join me on video and those of our body that can't be physically together right now. And Father, I ask that you would just pour out over them. Lord, I thank you that tonight is Shabbat. We are entering into the rest. Some of us haven't been working, but we've been working on other things. And Father, I pray that this rest, I can't even say Shabbat without yawning, that this rest would be a blessing. Father, that you would slow us down, and this time of resetting us would just be blessed with understanding and revelation. And Father, I pray that you would truly change our priorities so that we can change our perspective of who you are, what you're doing in our lives, and what you're doing in the lives around us. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift His countenance upon you and give you peace in the name of the Prince of Peace, Yeshua, our Messiah.